안녕하세요. 저는 캐나다 알버타에서 태어나고 자란 중학교 2학년 조스핀 킴이라고 합니다. 이제 곧 알버타 주정부 총선이 다가오는데요. 어느 때보다 정치적인 갈등이 많은 이때 학교 선생님들이나 주변 사람들의 의견을 듣는 것도 너무 중요하지만 제가 직접 알아보는 것도 중요하다고 여겨졌습니다. 오늘은 알버타 Calgary Northwest 지역구의 보수당 후보이신 Rajan Sawhney 의원을 만나보도록 하겠습니다. Rajan Sawhney 의원은 전 사회복지 장관과 교통부 장관을 역임했고 현재 알버타 무역, 이민, 다문화부 장관을 수행 중이십니다. Hello, Minister. Thank you so much for meeting me today.
Hello, Josephine. I'm so delighted to have this time with you today. Thank you.
I've already introduced you in Korean, but would you like to maybe say hello to the Korean-Canadian community?
Absolutely. Yes. Good day, everybody in the community. My name is Rajan, and I'm the candidate for Calgary Northwest, and I'm also the Minister of Trade, Immigration, and Multiculturalism.
I heard that you visited South Korea just a couple of months ago. Could you maybe tell us a bit more about your trip?
I did. It was a wonderful trip. I spent a lot of time in Seoul, and it was a business trip. It was a government trip because we wanted to sign an MOU for small modular reactors. So we did. We were successful. We signed an agreement with KERI, the Korea Atomic Institute, and we also had a chance to visit the POSCO steel plant down on the south of the peninsula. And I have to say that overall our trip was very, very successful.
Well, I look forward to hearing about more partnerships between Alberta and Korea.
So do I.
Yeah.
So do I. And I know that, that was our first trip. And when we form government again, there will be a subsequent trip because the hydrogen economy is picking up and we have so much to learn from South Korea.
Now, is there any chance you got to meet any K-pop artists or Korean celebrities?
Unfortunately, no. I tried really hard because my children are big fans of K-pop and Blackpink and a number of other groups that are very popular. But of course, we were there on a business trip. So the next time when I go on a personal trip, I'll definitely make the effort.
Well, okay, I'm a very big fan of K-pop and I would love to see a concert one day. But the thing that's frustrating me is that when K-pop groups come to North America to tour, they usually tend to skip over Alberta. And if we were to hold a concert, I'm pretty sure we could fill the Big Four or maybe the Saddle Dome.
Well, I agree with you. I don't know why they're skipping Alberta, but I certainly, had a conversation with the delegates that I met in South Korea and said, look, Alberta is a wonderful place to invest. We are a cultural hub. And now we've announced the new event center. The city has, and the province is going to be pitching in for infrastructure. So that will attract more international attention. And we hope that K-pop groups in South Korea will definitely realize that Calgary's on the map and make their way over here.
I mean, since you are the Minister of Multiculturalism, maybe you can invite them here? I mean, for the love of multiculturalism, of course.
I think you and I should work together on that
Yeah.
and figure out who to invite, and we can definitely do that.
Speaking of business opportunities between Alberta and Korea, there are so many Korean business owners scattered across the province. And I know that they struggled a lot during COVID and now due to inflation. What can your party do to help?
Well, that's a great question. And certainly I've met some of these business owners, both from the Korean community and other communities. And so some of the things that we did, to help families in particular, is that we did announce the affordability package, the $2.8 billion package, and it encompasses cash benefits for families, particularly families who have children. And we have relief at the gas pumps. So that definitely helps. And I know Premier Smith just announced a recent change in taxation for personal income taxes where anybody making less than $60,000 or that portion is going to be taxed at 8% rather than 10%. Now, from a business perspective in particular, we have created the environment here in Alberta to attract international investment, which also creates new jobs. And, this MOU that we signed with KERI is a prime example of how the Alberta government works with communities across the world to make sure that they are given an invitation to bring their technology here, bring their expertise here, and again, bring their investment here. And that's good for business. It's good for Albertans. So just to summarize, I can confidently say that the work that we've done in government has resulted in more jobs, more investment, and more of an attractive climate to make sure that people want to come here and invest. And for small business owners, I mean, you want to make sure that you keep more of your hard-earned money in your pocket as opposed to giving it to the government in taxes.
So you guarantee that there will be no increases in taxes?
I guarantee it. In fact, Premier Smith has guaranteed it as well. And as I said, she just announced a tax decrease just a few days ago. So I want everyone who's listening to rest assured that conservative governments don't believe in hiking up taxes. We believe in creating positive environments that will make sure that people can thrive and they can have a good life here in Alberta.
My dad is a business owner as well, and I think he'd be really happy to hear that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So right now, our economy has recovered dramatically since the opposition was in power from 2015 to 2019. We have record job growth. 220,000 jobs have been created since we've been in power. We are seeing that Alberta is leading the nation in GDP growth. That's a fact. Venture capital investment is at a record high. In fact, we had, I think, a 30% increase from 2021 to 2022. And we are seeing people moving to Alberta in numbers that we've never seen before.
I often hear that business is all about the timing. And what would you say to those who think that you were just in power at the right time or you're just lucky?
I don't think that anybody can say that we were lucky because we had a crash in energy prices, a worldwide crash. There was a COVID-19 pandemic. There were a number of issues, an affordability crisis. That is not luck. But nonetheless, we navigated through all of those very difficult black swan situations. And like I said, our economy has recovered. And a lot of that is not based on luck. It's based on policy. If you don't have the right policies in place, you're not going to attract investment. You're not going to attract migration into this province. You're not going to see that economic growth. So when government puts favorable policies in place, like keeping corporate income taxes low, making sure that we are sending a signal to the investment community that this is a stable, predictable environment, when all of those conditions are in place, things happen. Wonderful things happen. We have companies moving their headquarters into our province. We have people who are deciding to make Alberta their forever home.
Okay, so I know you're super busy campaigning, so I don't want to take away too much of your time. But do you have any last comments for the Koreans in Alberta?
Absolutely, and I'm delighted to meet you. So I'm delighted to have this time with you today. Everything that we do, whether it's expenditure on healthcare or education or post-secondary social services, all of this money, all of this budgeting depends on a robust, strong economy. If you don't have a good economy that's about creating jobs, increasing our tax base, you are not going to get those revenues that you need to fund those critically important services that the government provides. So I would ask everybody to please exercise your vote. And if you live in Calgary Northwest, in my constituency, please do reach out. I'd love to meet you and have some conversations with you. And visit my website, rajansawhney.ca. Thank you.